Reaction do you have from Barcelona?
Well, obviously, the Catalan president, not everybody here in Barcelona or elsewhere in Catalonia is historically a fan, as it were. Obviously, he's got his own party. There are various strands within the independence movement. As such, I guess what he was really trying to do tonight was to appear presidential, to speak to all Catalans at a time when the country is very divided and when many people are emotionally affected by this, and when opinions are hardening. As such, quite a good choice of targets, I think. There, some people you speak to here in Barcelona are expecting a little bit more from the king in terms of national unity. He obviously laid into those who planned this referendum, saying they were outside the law. And as you heard from the Catalan president there, the failure of the king to condemn the violence that went on at the hands of the police on Sunday is also something which many people here are unhappy about. It obviously, you heard him once again squarely laying the blame at the door of Madrid for the fact that things have turned out like this, saying it was the Catalan side all along that was the one that had appealed for mediators, had asked for negotiation. Now, of course, next up, if we're to believe his words in recent interviews, the Catalan president is set to issue this unilateral declaration of independence. Obviously, Madrid will flatly refuse it, but at the same time, it does take this crisis up another notch and really put the country into a completely uncharted territory.
And is that something, this unilateral declaration which he's talking about, is that something that people where you are in favour of, Chris, or is there a kind of a mixed bag of emotions surrounding that?
Obviously, there's a mixed bag of emotions. I mean, opinion polls have been very difficult to come by on the independence issue, but it's a very there's a whole range of opinions here within Catalonia. There are many people who you speak to who they're not the most visible people, perhaps, in terms of what's happened in the last week. We've seen a lot of Catalan flags, pro-independence messages out on the street. There are many people whose opinions on independence as an issue are pretty mitigated, but at the same time, the Catalan presidency is striking in to what a lot of people here think, namely that Madrid has pushed him into effectively a position that he has to stay in. It's Madrid that has failed to compromise, and as both sides have become increasingly entrenched in their positions, events on the ground have merely really enhanced those opinions, particularly what we saw on Sunday at the hands of the police, perhaps pushing people who are not particularly strongly independent into, if not the pro-independence camp, then certainly the anti-Madrid camp. That said, there are many people here who are simply exasperated with the politicians on both sides that have allowed the standoff to get this far. There was a lot of Catalan flags out on the square behind me earlier, but there was also one man wearing a placard with, I think perhaps represents the opinion of quite a lot of people. It simply said, "Please get together and talk."